can we be helpful to startup community, you can contact me. And today with me is Alexander Isora, and he's an awesome, talented founder of Unicorn Platform. And today we're going to talk about his story, the story behind the Unicorn Platform, and how it grew exponentially without any marketing investment and through bootstrapping. But Alex, you're the best person to talk about it, so please tell us about yourself first.
Yes, hi Anna, thanks for having me here today. Hello everybody, let me introduce briefly myself and what's Unicorn Platform about. Unicorn Platform is a landing page builder, like a classical type SaaS project, which I built by myself and raised to 15K MRR during the last 4 years. So this is a 4 years old project. My name is Alex, and I'm a founder with a technician background. Previously, I launched 2 startups with my friends, but both failed. And after the last fail, I was left with empty pockets in my flat and started to think about the future. What should I do next? And I was in a doubt. What should I do? Should I go and become a freelancer? Should I go and get a job in a company to feel ground under my feet, to feel more confidence? But I decided to put my life into risk, to go into this adventure. Luckily, I don't have kids or relatives to care about, and I was able to risk. So I started this company called Unicorn Platform, which is a landing page builder. By that time, 4 years ago, I had very low coding experience. I was a weak programmer. So basically, Unicorn Platform is the first huge application which I made. It's like my very first web app.
Oh, how long did it take with the little experience?
Eventually, it took 160 hours to build the MVP and 1 year to build a real solid first version, which is the current product is. It's like the fifth version at this moment, but the initial stage took 1 year. It was quite scary because I had zero experience. When you have experience in the past, you have built some applications, you know how to make this thing, how long it will take to build that thing. But at that moment, I was just with an empty head, and I didn't know how much it will take. 1 year, 10 years, 5 weeks. I didn't know, and that put me in a huge stress. And when you're in stress, when you're in doubt, when you're lost, you are trying to find some guides, trying to find some answers to get it from somewhere to stop panicking, which I did. I started to attend in some events with super special experts, startup coaches, which started to tell me the truth, how to make things, the real wisdom of real world, and it distracted me even more. Each time I approached an expert, he or she started to talk numbers like a real businessman or businesswoman. We started with basic questions like, what's the market size? What's the unit economics? Did you calculate it? I was saying, how do I do that? I don't know. What's lifetime value of my customer? I don't know. I don't have a product. I'm just making. They just kept telling me, that's not how you do a business, man. And it made me even more lost. And it took so much energy to realize that those questions I was asking, I should actually just ignore and keep going. In that moment, when I stopped reading smart books, stopped talking to coaches and experts, it was the point where the progress started to grow really fast. So when I throw away all these outer thoughts and focused on myself, I realized that I have only the idea. All I have is an idea and passion to make this idea real. And the idea was simple, is to create a simple landing page builder. In my past experience, I was a co-founder of a startup, and we were making HTML templates and WordPress themes for people. And this experience, it lasted like a year, gave me the understanding of the market. I found out what people really need. We were talking a lot with customers, and they were complaining that this stuff is hard. I don't understand this. I see how to do it, but I don't know how. And this made this picture of my future client. It's a person, a founder who is busy and don't have time for stuff like learning what WordPress is, which plugin he or she needs, don't want to waste time on uploading HTML theme, don't want to waste time on learning conceptions of other website builders. And other website builders on the world, there are a lot of competitors, like hundreds of them, and every day there is a new website builder. Everyone wants to get into this niche, but all they eventually got into the same hole, into the same trap. They keep adding more features because they have a product guy who puts these features out of his head, and this list is growing. And therefore, the website builder, let's say Squarespace or Wix or Webflow, is growing as well. It becomes complicated. At some point, it's so complicated, you need a huge effort to think, to start using it, just create one single page with a title and button. And I realized that I need to go another way, not to become complex, but become simple. Make a simple thing and keep it simple while adding new features. And this idea was burning my heart for many months. And when I failed at my previous startup, I decided to go into this and start making this thing because I believed it a lot. It was like when you see the world, there are a lot of things, this, that, and you see a whole, a lost puzzle, one simple piece of puzzle, and you know that it should be put here, but there is no such thing. And I thought to myself, I need to create this piece of puzzle, and that's Unicorn Platform. That's more a philosophical thing. Let's talk more.
Yeah, so
something grounded.
That was very interesting, actually. See, I was absolutely
really?
silent. Yeah. But so you believe that startups actually they want to focus on the product and give them this opportunity through allowing them to use this super simple tool for idea validation, basically, so that outside of it, they can be focused on their product all they want.
Yes, exactly. This idea, the whole idea that you should use something simple, especially at the first years of your startup, is not limited to landing pages only. I wanted to create a huge ecosystem, an empire of simple tools. The first would be a landing page builder, then it would be a live chat, an email newsletter management tool, CRM, and many other modules. That's why it's called Unicorn Platform, not Unicorn Website Builder. But soon after making the first version of Unicorn Platform, I realized that making this huge ecosystem, it's just impossible because of complexity. And it would be only possible by using something modern technologies such as Mars, but not with classical website building frameworks, only using modern technologies.
Okay.
So this
sorry.
Yeah. So yes, my dream of making this ecosystem was paused, but now I resume thinking about it and making some plans.
Oh, that's very cool. But you said that you already had this experience, this failed experience of building a website builder. And how did you decide to go back? Basically, what kept you motivated? Why weren't you scared to go there, and this time without co-founders?
Yes, from the day first, I started looking for a co-founder because I thought it's impossible to go alone. If you want to go far, you go with someone. You know that.
Yeah.
If you want to go far, go with someone. That kind of stuff. And I started looking for a co-founder, and that turned out to be a so hard task to do. You need to not only find a professional, a skilled person, but also your souls must align. You must find a friend at first, a people who you, a man or a girl who you can trust and blindly trust. And it's hard to do. That was nearly impossible. So I decided to stop wasting my energy in this direction and go alone, even though I didn't know how to code such a complex thing. And yeah, it was sink or swim. And I made an MVP. Like every startup starts with an MVP, and it wasn't too hard to make an MVP, even with my low programming skills. I made HTML generator. What we have now is a website builder with hosting, online pages. You can create a subdomain, attach your custom domain, upload image. It's a complex tool. But 4 years ago, I made an MVP, which was a generator. It was able to just put a pre-designed component like this, move them down or above, and export the result as an HTML. And then you had to upload it to some kind of hosting. It wasn't a pleasant experience for non-developers, but it worked. So then I made this MVP. The next step was to get some money to move forward, because as I said, I had empty pockets and I needed something to eat. I like eating. And,
don't we all?
Yeah. It's also cool to live under a roof.
Yeah.
And so there was a solution which I found is to run a lifetime deal round.
Okay, could you explain a little bit? Maybe I think there could be founders in our audience that don't know what it is.
Yes, lifetime deal round is a hot topic, but no, not everyone is aware of it. Basically, a lifetime deal round is a campaign during which you sell a limited amount of licenses to your SaaS, which are permanent. Like SaaS is a subscription-based model, but you issue some licenses, some accounts, a portion of it, like 100 or 1,000, and sell it for a huge price. Like not if your SaaS costs $10 per month, you sell a license for $100, and you get instant cash, and the people who buy it get an eternal access to your tool, to your startup. It's a win-win for both of you.
Yeah.
The early adopters will get a good deal because it's cool to use something forever. And you get instant cash. If you are just starting, you need some cash to pay salaries, to pay your bills. And this is a way you can fund yourself. I was tempted by going to a VC, to an investor, but as I said, all the professionals, all the experts, they just turned around and went away because they wanted to see a huge business model, good slides, graphs, charts, numbers, which I'm not good at. And so I asked the crowd if they liked my MVP, and if I asked if you like my MVP, would you love to get something cooler, like a complete website builder? If you want me to do that for you, please buy my lifetime deal license, which you'll be able to use in a year. You buy this access now, you give me time, and if you trust me, in a year, you will get a tool which you'll be able to use forever. So I did like this. I issued 50 licenses, each costs each costs $180. So I raised 10 grants in a few days. And it was quite easy because I had some follow base. People knew me by my previous experience when I was building the HTML themes and WordPress themes. They saw that I'm not just a stranger from the internet who has an idea, but I'm an experienced, somehow experienced person, and I know what market is, how it works, and what it needs. So they gave me the money, and I took the money, and this is their even more uncertainty and even more not understanding came to my life, because not only I have an idea, but I also have a responsibility.
Yeah.
And it puts you to another level, and it gives you some more motivation. If I promise something to a crowd, I just cannot fail.
Oh, absolutely.
I think most people will feel in the same way. And I started to searching for answers. How can I build this tool? How to make a website builder? Like which keys on my keyboard should I press? I don't know. I approached my close friend who told me that I should never hire someone to do it, because I was pretty sure that I will hire a developer, and the developer will make the thing, because I need the code. A coder can make code, and that's obvious. You need a coder. And he laughed at my face really hard and told me that I will fail. And he is an experienced manager and developer, and that was actually the point when I realized that I have to learn how to code to the very deep level to make it by myself, because there is no other way. If I hire someone, this person would never be interested in making a high quality tool. This person is interested in getting money for hours spent or getting a salary, but not delivering my idea to the real world. It would be a huge effort and a huge risk to put this whole concept, all the principles, all the ideas to the mind of a developer, and then to keep them motivated to constantly deliver things at the quality level I want. And since I didn't have this experience of managing a programmer in this way, it was quite obvious for my friend that I will fail. And he convinced me to learn programming and program the program I needed. And
that's a very interesting concept. I mean, not a lot of founders are ready to do that.
Really?
I think so. I mean, there are so many postings on every social media out there. People are looking for CTOs. That you have a very unusual approach, I think. But Alex, is it okay if I interrupt you for just a moment, because we also kind of have to address the responsibility to answer the questions, and we have quite a few. So first of all, everyone supports you in a way that it's a great point to not overcomplicate the product, and every product eventually becomes complicated, and it's no longer that easy to use it. And it's also very difficult to revamp the whole thing to make it more simple when you have a need to do that. So have you ever had any requests from your users to make it more complicated, to add features, and how did you manage these requests?
A great question. My favorite question, actually.
Okay.
Yes, we keep getting constantly a lot of feedback and a lot of features we are asked to. We are very transparent, very open to the crowd, and we have a lot of channels where people can suggest features. And all I do is put these features in a huge list. Then I sort it by complexity, and each request for a feature adds some priority to the feature. Like if someone asked for an integration 10 times, I understand that it's very needed. And when it comes to picking a feature to implement, like the top priority feature. Before making it, I start to think really, really hard. The first question I ask to myself, if we can solve the problem, because people are not asking for a feature, we're asking for a problem to be solved. I ask to myself, can we solve the problem of these users without making this feature? Because the best way to solve a problem is just to avoid it, not to make something, but avoid working on it, but solving the problem. It sounds hard, but if you start asking yourself this question, you might sometimes find this solution, this workaround. And sometimes we just don't do a feature. We offer something like, you can use our other features like this, and you will get a result.
Okay.
Perhaps we will make some changes in the interface, so it will be obvious for the others that we can solve this problem in this way. Another way to solve a problem by not adding a complexity is to add hidden features. We have a huge list of hidden features which are not available for the public, but they frequently requested, and we unlock these features personally for a user upon a request. Another thing that helps me to keep the interface minimal, to keep it easy and simple, is to sometimes I just again, my focus is to solve a user's problem, not to make him paid customer, not to convince him or her that she doesn't need this feature. My goal is to help a customer. And if a customer tells me, I need this, I need more flexibility, more customization, I need 10 more integrations, I just advise them to use another website builder.
Okay, so you're not afraid that people will leave the platform?
Yeah, yes. My end goal is to help a user. So if I can advise them a better feature, a more suitable tool, I would do that. And yeah, that doesn't sound like an answer. How do I keep my tool simple and easy? Well, you have to
No, it actually does. I think you've got an amazing focus, and I think the third option I think is explaining it all. Like we're a simple builder, and that's what we do. And if you don't like it, then there are tons of other options, and that's super cool. But how do you, again, this is probably a question of motivation. How do you keep yourself motivated to do that and not just add the features that people want and maybe grow the platform and, of course, grow your revenue and just become, well, a unicorn?
How do I keep myself motivated?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
How do you keep yourself motivated to stay, in that bubble that you created and that is very comfortable for you?
It's hard.
Okay.
And I am failing at keep myself motivated after 4 years. So making a single tool, a single thing, single code base, and yeah, at some point I just got lost. During the last 6 months, you could see that we had little features, little updates, and yeah, I lost my motivation. I was like, what do I need to do? I didn't know. I didn't know if I should go and hire more people or find a co-founder or find an accelerator or something. And I'm super happy and glad to tell that I found a solution. And this is the union with Mars. Like joining Mars helped me a lot because partnering with another company which has a lot of skilled professionals helped me to get off the routine, because every day as a founder I got a lot of questions and little things like checking errors on servers and making daily routines on SSL certificates, which are very hard to automate but still needed to do by someone. And by joining Mars, I got a lot of free space in my head, and I was able to return back to my focus idea and work on this more, but less on the routine, on the boring stuff that makes anyone unmotivated.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's great. Well, I'm glad you like it here.
Was my way to. Okay.
But we have another question, and this is yeah, probably about.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Is it my connection?
I can hear now. You can continue. Thank you.
Okay. I think there is a bit of a problem with my connection. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Sorry, technical issues. I still cannot hear you.
Okay. How about now?
Can you
hello,
please?
Hello. 1, 2, 3. I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
And now I still not hear
you.
This was,
all right.
Something I was afraid to.
That's probably
that's a quest,
mine.
right?
But okay. Okay. Alex, this seems. That seems like your connection.
But want to go to for a few minutes more.
Okay.
I'm losing you.
Okay.
It's okay, but not.
Not really. Okay, Alex. I think this is your connection. At least that's what our tech team is telling us.
Okay.
But if you could switch, I know that you have a backup connection.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, sure.
And that should be done in a few moments.
Okay.
That should be better now.
Okay, hopefully. But yeah, well,
sorry.
It's getting better. I would love to ask if you have other questions, please feel free to ask. And we really enjoy the questions that we have right now. So Alex, is it okay if I ask the other one?
Yes,
you hear
please.
me well? Okay, cool. So another one, I think somewhere around motivation. How do you know when to take the leap to leave your job and start your own company?
That's another question.
Would you know that?
I have a lot of friends who make their startups after their desk job, but none of them did something significant over the last 5 years since I know them. And I honestly don't believe that you can spend 1 or 2 hours after your desk job and make something that will get off the ground. There are cases when people did this, but I don't think it's something which everyone can achieve. There are 2 problems. You don't have much time in a day. And the second problem is that your head is full of thoughts on your main job. You keep thinking and processing things that you are asked to do by your boss. And that's a resource. You cannot switch so easily. Some people can, but not everyone. It's a skill which is needed to be trained. And it's not for everyone. And if you keep working like for 2 hours a day, let's say you want to make a SaaS, it will take you, let's say, 200 hours. If you take 2 hours a day, it will take you 3 months to build your SaaS if you don't have any rests. No, let's say realistically it will take 5 months. So 5 months to only build an MVP. That's a lot of time. And there are huge changes that you, being a human like with weaknesses on your brain, you will lose your motivation because it's hard to keep you motivated. And the longer you're doing one thing, the less motivation is. And you will constantly need to feed your motivation. It's another hard job to do, and you will need even more time. What I advise is to quit your job. If you work as a programmer, if you work as a UI designer, as a marketer, you can save some money, some cash or if you are obliged with kids or relatives to care about, you should probably think about finding a way to fund yourself. There are a lot of small funds which support small companies, makers, like Tiny Fund or the fund of Ryan Hoover, the founder of Product Hunt, who can help you and give you some cash for the initial stage. Or you can run a lifetime deal. If you're uncertain, not sure how to run it, you can just DM me. I will tell you each thing you should prepare for launching a lifetime deal. It's not that hard.
Oh, that's
so
great.
Yeah, I don't believe in working after this job.
Okay, all right. So you absolutely have to go full on into this new adventure. But it's funny that you mentioned MVP because, as probably everyone knows by now, Mars is an awesome tool to build it. So it took, I remember you said it took about 3 months, right, to build yours. Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? It took you 160 hours. I'm not sure how many it is in days. But would you do it differently? Do you think this amount of hours is too much or too little? Would you have done anything differently now?
I would go with Mars because it will take 10 times less time, and yeah, that would definitely work. Yeah, today technologies went very far, and you can spend much less time than I did 4 years before. And yeah, probably I would be doing all the same, but I would be I would be more attentive to what people with real experiences tell me, not experts, not theoretics, not theory, but I would find a person who has real experience in making things and giving them the whole picture, which I have in my mind, and ask for what they think.
Okay, awesome. All right, and when you were telling us about the lifetime deal, you said you found about 100 people, right? So how did you find those 100 people for a new project, for a startup? It's still a lot. So how did you manage to do that? And how did you find the best price for your initial lifetime deal?
Great questions. Thank you. It was 50 licenses, and I sold it in 2 days. The first day was launching on Product Hunt, and I created a separate page where I declared the lifetime deal round terms and put the button buy it. So after the Product Hunt launch, I sold 25 licenses, and during the launch, I was approached by a guy whose name is Nitesh, and this guy was running a lifetime deal dedicated Facebook group. It's a closed group of founders, of enthusiasts who chase these lifetime deals and publish them inside this group. And it turned out to be a huge community. There are a lot of such groups in Facebook, big and small, closed and open. And I was introduced by Nitesh to his closed group, and I was able to sell the rest 25 licenses instantly. If you want, I can share the link to his group.
I think that would be absolutely helpful. And what are your thoughts on the best path to raising funds for companies similar to Unicorn Platform? So would you have done anything differently now, or you would still go with a lifetime deal?
I think a lifetime deal is a completely riskless way to fund yourself. The only risk I was really scared about is that these people who have eternal access could give me a huge traffic costs, because the biggest cost of a website builder is traffic. People upload their images to their websites, and these images are kept downloaded by the visitors. So you have to pay constantly every month a fee to transfer this image. And I was scared, but if I get a lot of one-time pay users who paid one time, not as on a subscription based, yeah, I can get into a trap when I got a huge pile of cash on the day one, but on the day, let's say 300 in a year, I will be in a minus, and I will have to bring on my revenue from other users just to keep my promise to give these people access. So if you do some calculations, that might help. If you're making something like video hosting, for example, video traffic is much more expensive. The risk will be bigger. So just do some calculations and it will be fine.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you. We have another question about your team. So, of course, the Unicorn platform has grown. And what about the team? How many people do you have now? And how did you decide that you need to grow your team?
I have always been a very bad manager. I am terribly awful at delegating things.
Okay.
Like I can put tasks, but all this checking how this person feels, how to measure their results, it was such a pain. I don't like managing people. I would prefer to do everything by myself. Even if it's impossible, I would go by myself. But at some point I just had to hire a person because there started to be a lot of support requests, and I wanted to, I didn't want to close the live chat, and just I wanted to keep this channel open so people can ask their questions and get a reply from a real human, because I believe this is a huge part of the project when you can just ask anything and you will get support sooner or less. So I hired a guy, a young talented beginning developer. He just read one of my articles and said, "Hey, Alex, I want to work with you because I think what you do is cool." And I said, "Yeah, let's do that." I said him that I will pay your salary and you have to reply to people. And he said, "Okay, I can do that. That sounds good." I said, "Okay." And we started to work. And at some point I thought that, oh, it would be a great thing to hire a developer. And I hired a front-end developer, a guy who helped me to build things. Overall, the overall experience was positive. Like, this guy was shipping the features, and our productivity, the speed of adding features was grown. But again, it took me much energy to manage him, because it isn't mine. So I was growing slowly, really slowly, because I don't like managing and managing people. I believe if I could get into a trap, because every company have to grow. You have every article on the internet, every book would tell you, delegate, hire people, grow your team. And if I got into this trap, if I have hired like 10 people, I would burn like in a few months, because if you do that you don't like, you eventually burn. So I'm super happy I didn't do that.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay. That's great. I mean, yeah. I just admire how, like I said before, you have this bubble that you're very comfortable in, and you decide that this is where you want to exist. But I really like the idea of keeping the human touch to your chat, and I know that Unicorn platform is all about showing the human face of your startup and creating a community, and doing everything basically through your personal brand. So how did you decide to do that? Did it come kind of naturally to you, or did you read about it somewhere? Did you learn about it? So what's behind this idea?
Oh, I love the questions which are asked today.
Thank you. It's not only me, it's our audience too.
Yeah, I thought that this is an opportunity. Making things open, transparent, human friendly, it's an opportunity to compete on the overcrowded market. Every tool, every company has this problem when you just cannot ask a human what to do. I don't understand, please help me. And companies try to reduce costs on support. They create huge help desks. They create AI bots, which are stupid all the time. And it makes a wall. They built a wall between them and their users. And they decided to be completely open. And even today, 4 years later, if someone asks me in Twitter or Instagram DM, hey, I cannot put an image in my button, can you please help me? I will not create a guide in Twitter DM, but I would say him or her, sorry, I'm sorry you failed, not like that. I'm sorry your competitor wasn't able to solve your problem. Could you please ask in the live chat? The manager will help you.
Okay.
Because I believe this connection between you and the user should always be maybe not like this, because if you're so dedicated to the user base, if you're so attached to what we say, what we feel, you will again burn, because not everything they say is pleasant and you will worry too much. At the beginning, I was like this with my users. Even if they someone found my WhatsApp number somehow and asked me for support there. And of course, I was ready to start supporting them right away. But today I reduced this amount of connection to the users to this small but still solid level. So I keep myself more like myself, so I don't burn out. But I still listen to every voice and reply, maybe not as fast as previously. Maybe I not reply to every question by myself. I ask my managers to do that, to help me, but I still do that. I believe it's important and it makes us grow. It gives us a competitive advantage against big companies which build walls.
Okay, and would you recommend it to startups? Do you think it is important, especially at the early stages, to listen to your customers and to keep some kind of connection with them, some kind of way for them to communicate with you easily?
It's a double-edged sword. From the one side, of course, you have to listen to what they say and do what they need, but you can easily fall into a trap when you do everything they say, and eventually your idea, your principles will get vanished, and your product will not become what you was thinking about, what was your goal. And ironically, these people who asked for a feature could just end relationship with you, could just sign out because you added so much features of other people, and what they used to at the beginning became something which is not so fast or so overcomplicated. So there must be a balance, and the only thing that helped me to keep this balance is having this idea in my head and putting every voice, every feature request, every my new idea through this filter of my core idea. Keep this thing simple, keep it easy, or you will become complicated and you will become yet another Webflow, and you will not be able to compete a Webflow.
Yeah. Okay, I see. And sorry. So we are also talking about the thing with your marketing. You had 0 marketing costs. How did that happen, and what is the marketing strategy for Unicorn platform, and how it changed over the years, if it did?
Amazing question. I just
I'm on
wanted
a roll today.
I just wanted to tell about this zero marketing stuff. And I actually spent some dollars on marketing because I was curious how it would it work. I spent like $100 on Facebook ads. I found an experienced guy who set up me some campaigns, and it brought like a few clicks, like 10 clicks, like one sign up, and I thought, why do I need this? This just brings zero. I also tried to buy ads in Facebook, and it again brought some views and nothing else. I believe ads work, paid marketing works, only if you have a huge amount of cash and you can buy all the traffic. If you have a lot of investors who throw a pile of cash into your face every month, and you have to bring them reports of how you spent your months, your dollars, you can start buying ads. But in my case, it didn't work. But what worked is word of mouth. Like people recommend Unicorn platform to each other because this tool suits their needs, they like it. I also put a lot of effort in not only making a suitable tool, but in making a lovable tool, like a tool which is liked by people. I always teach people who work with me that implement a feature is a simple thing to do, but you need to make this feature in a way which people will enjoy use.
Right.
Make it more a UI question, and it contains a lot of little things that you have to care about. For example, we don't have model window subscribe our newsletter which pops out on the whole screen, because I think it's annoying. I personally think this kind of windows are annoying. I don't like it, so I don't bother my users with such kind of things. And at the end of the day, people feel that I don't put bullshit. I don't say marketing bullshit. I don't put bullshit in my products. And they feel grateful for this. They feel being respected and cared about. And this is actually a very valuable feeling. And after using Unicorn platform, we just recommended to others because they felt good. Not only they used a good product, but they were also cared properly about. And that's important. That's a huge motivator to recommend something to a friend. We are social animals. We recommend good things to others. Right. If I want to make a friend, I would recommend him or her to go to a good cafe or a good library. People also recommend tools. I recommend Notion to every people I meet in the street, because Notion is awesome, because you can chat with Notion team about features, because the product they do is amazing. They put all their souls into this, all their passion into this, and I feel this passion. I feel that they're amazing. They changed the whole game, and I recommend Notion to everyone. I'm an evangelist of Notion because I love it. I wanted my users to become evangelists too. I wanted to make them love Unicorn platform, not by simple tricks, but putting my whole life into this product.
That sounds amazing, but it's as a growth person, I know that it's a lot more difficult to do than say. So, what were your initial channels? Product Hunt. What else did you use apart from failed ads on Facebook?
It was mostly Product Hunt. At the beginning, I was so scared, but no one will use my tool, and they will be just ended with a tool, a wonderful tool which no one uses. And I was running like crazy across the whole internet, and I was putting link to Unicorn platform to every hole where it was possible to do. Not spamming, but there are a lot of websites, like a list of top startups, list of top website builders. And I was hustling as crazy and putting this link everywhere I could. It brought some result, but the most outcome was from Product Hunt.
Did you have some strategy for Product Hunt? Because it's everywhere. In every blog there is a strategy how to shoot for the stars and Product Hunt. Did you use one of those, or you just blindly went there because you knew you had an awesome product?
Product Hunt is simple yet complex. I don't want to talk a lot about Product Hunt because there are a lot of topics on how to launch a Product Hunt.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more, you can watch my YouTube videos. When I tried Product Hunt and got a real result from it, I was super hyped and happy, and I wanted to share my excitement with the world, and I recorded a few videos about how to launch a Product Hunt. You can find it on YouTube. And if you want a more detailed thing, you can watch it here. But I will just tell a few sentences for the ones who are not familiar. The Product Hunt is a social network where startuppers, marketers, developers, designers, that kind of geeky people share new startups they found on the internet. And they share new tools, new frameworks, some cool SaaS or mobile applications. And the thing is, you can share your own product too. And if it's good enough, if it's polished, if it has good landing page, people will upvote it, they will like it, they will comment on it, and you will get higher on the rank and eventually get the attention of the Product Hunt community, which is huge. It's millions of people. This is why Product Hunt is one of the main sources for any beginning startup, especially in the tech industry. Of course, if you're making something for, I don't know, for bakery or for dogs, I don't know, it won't be as useful. But if you're making something for other startup fellows, if you're making something crypto related or tech related, Product Hunt is a good way to start.
Awesome. Okay. And just a couple more questions. Why did you decide to close the lifetime deal? And did you have any revenue targets?
I don't have any targets or KPIs because I'm bad at numbers, and every time I try to figure something out, to make a table or a sheet or formulas, it ended up to be unreal. My numbers never matched the reality, so I just gave up on this. Why I limited the lifetime deal to only 50 licenses? I could easily sell 500 licenses because people, after the lifetime deal was closed, people kept asking me to sell one more license, and it happens even today. 4 years later, they ask if I have lifetime license. They somehow find this old post, and I limited because I was scared that I will get a lot of people which will have free traffic, and I will have to pay millions of dollars per month just to keep their websites alive. I didn't know how it would go, and that's more important. I didn't need that much money. 10 grand was just enough for one single person to make a startup in a year. I didn't need $100,000.
Okay, so you
because
kept it safe.
I would just burn it in Facebook, and I'm so glad I didn't do that because Mark Zuckerberg is. I hate him.
Okay, but yeah, another question: do you plan to scale, and if you do, then how?
At first time, I had some marketing strategies. Like I would like to expand on this market. I would like to translate this tool to Chinese market and get some extra. But currently, I decided just to stick to things that work for me. If making a good product works and I give a linear growth every month, I would just stick to this and just see how it goes. So I don't have ambitions to conquer the whole world, to become a billionaire or to destroy the competitors. I just want to make a good product for good people, and if I grow, then I'm doing the right thing. So I don't have plans for scaling or growing.
All right, so you want to remain the indie hacker, right? Do you think it's the future? Do you think there will be more and more startups like you that don't want to grow into a unicorn, that just want to create a good product and stay in that space.
Yes, I just love this trend.
Okay, I mean, tell us more, because not a lot of people know what an indie hacker is even now. So elaborate.
Yeah, the mass media, the big magazines on YouTube channels, news, they all talk about startups. But when they talk about startups, even in the Silicon Valley series, they talk about huge numbers. Some company raised 10 millions. This company is valuated at 1 billion. And people started to think of startups as a thing with millions of investments, with exponential growth, with something big and always backed by VCs. But there is a trend of people who realized that a startup doesn't mean a billion-dollar company. Not everyone have to go in the unicorn way. Unicorn is a billion-dollar company. Not everyone have to build unicorns. You can build small startup, small SaaS, and earn, let's say, $1,000 per month or $10,000 per month. You will be able to live your life, to maybe pay salaries for 1-2 people, and what would be just enough. You don't have to grow to a huge company. It just is not required. And a lot of small companies appear. I see a huge trend here and a huge opportunity for Unicorn Platform and Mars here, because all these people need to make a website and a SaaS or mobile application, and we will use Unicorn Platform and Mars. And the most exciting thing about this is that making a billion-dollar company is not making people happy, because you, as a founder, must go through a huge stress to achieve this. But you will not become happy. You will make your investors happy, maybe yes. But you, as a founder, you will put your life. You will get such a huge stress and strike on your health. It's just unhealthy, just unnatural. It's not good for a person. Just make small things. Just make good products for people, and you will feel happy, and you will earn enough money for living. You don't need millions to be happy.
Oh, that's amazing. I really hope it catches up, because I think it's a beautiful trend. And, you've already mentioned Mars, but we've got first a comment. I love your product. And another one, do you work on other projects right now?
I work at Mars only. Maybe you're wondering what Mars is, because people came to see perhaps at me and hear about Unicorn Platform, and I'm talking about Mars here. Mars is a company which I joined a few months ago. Mars is a platform for making cross-platform applications. It's a very complicated thing, and I don't want to go deep into this. Just wanted to clarify this a little bit, because we mentioned Mars here and there. Mars is a thing to make web apps easy, much easier than it was in the past. And I'm working on this as a part of the marketing team. I help people to know about Mars. And my second job is Unicorn Platform. I manage the developers team. As I said, I hate management, but I had to do that. I try to find some interest in this, and luckily I'm quite successful at this, because the people joined Unicorn Platform are amazing. I just love those guys. And yeah, so I'm partly a product manager at Unicorn Platform and partly marketing guy at Mars. That's my 2 jobs. I have 2 jobs.
Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. But you know what? We only got amazing comments. Everyone thinks that you're doing a great job, and the fact that you're not overcomplicating it, it's just admirable. But yeah, would you maybe like to add something to fellow founders that are just in the beginning of their journey? What would be the ultimate advice that you would maybe give yourself 4 years ago?
Yeah, yes, I have this only one piece of advice, is to don't hear to any advice.
Yeah.
Because it took me like months, even more years of doubts and wonders around. It would be much easier if I just go according to my inner feelings, if I just started to believe in yourself. Yeah, believe in yourself.
Yay. Okay. Believe in yourself. That's, I think, a very, very positive and life-loving piece of advice, and a great way to finish our little talk. But yeah, if we don't have any other questions, Alex, it was great talking to you as always. And thank you so much for everything you've said today. I think it was absolutely helpful, and a very holistic approach to a startup, to a business. And you don't see that much nowadays. So thank you so much. And we're going to talk more about you and Mars in about a month. So yeah, tune in for that. Thank you, Alex, again.
Yes. Let's talk again in a month. And thanks for everyone for listening to my speech. If I have something to tell you, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in Twitter or Instagram. I will send all the links, all the things I know. Don't be hesitated. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And see you next Tuesday.